It was raining hard in downtown Chicago when Daniel Carter walked into the towering glass building of Grayson Tech. His flannel shirt was still damp, his jeans worn from years of labor, and his boots echoed against the marble lobby floor as he approached the front desk. "I'm here about the maintenance job," he said quietly, holding out a folded resume. The receptionist barely looked up. "Upstairs. HR on the 12th. Daniel nodded and stepped into the elevator, his mind racing. He wasn't here for just any job. He was a single dad, desperate. His daughter, Ava, needed therapy he could no longer afford. Every door he knocked on was locked, until this one. Meanwhile, on the 18th floor, Elena Grayson, daughter of tech billionaire Victoria Grayson, sat silently in her wheelchair, staring out at the rain-streaked windows. 6 months ago, an accident had changed everything. One reckless driver, one split-second collision, and her legs no longer moved. Neither did her spirit. Victoria, usually a force of nature, had been shattered watching her once vibrant daughter shrink into silence. No therapy had worked, no specialist, no surgeon, no amount of money had brought back the light in Elena's eyes. And now, Victoria poured herself into work while Elena spent her days alone, hidden away in a suite built just for her on the top floor. That afternoon, fate took a turn. The HR director introduced Daniel to his new job, a janitorial and maintenance position. Low pay, late hours, but steady. He accepted it with quiet gratitude. The first time Daniel saw Elena, it was by accident. He was fixing a leak in a hallway pipe when he heard soft piano music from an open room. Peeking inside, he saw her, pale, motionless, playing notes that trembled like her soul. He didn't say anything that day. He just stood in the hallway until the music stopped. But the next evening, he brought Ava with him. She had nowhere else to go, and he couldn't afford a sitter. Ava was 8, full of energy, and when she heard the piano, she tugged at her father's sleeve. "Can I go see who's playing?" Before Daniel could stop her, she was already at the door. "Hi," Ava said, standing in front of Elena's wheelchair with the openness only a child could carry. "You play really pretty." Elena blinked in surprise. "Thanks," she said softly. "I can play too." "Well, kind of. Daddy taught me," Ava grinned. "He used to play in church." Daniel rushed to apologize, but Elena surprised him with a tiny smile. "She can stay, if she wants." It became a ritual. Every evening, Daniel cleaned. Ava and Elena talked, played, laughed. Sometimes, Ava brought crayons. Other times, Elena helped her write little songs. Daniel never expected anything from it. He just watched from the sidelines as his daughter did what no specialist could. She made Elena feel human again. And slowly, things began to change. Elena started sitting up straighter. Her laughter returned. She asked to be wheeled to the company garden. She even convinced her mother to let Ava and Daniel visit during the day. Victoria was skeptical at first. A billionaire CEO, guarded and sharp. But when she saw her daughter genuinely smile for the first time in months, something inside her cracked open. "Who are you?" she asked Daniel one day in the garden. He didn't puff up. He didn't pretend. "Just a dad, trying to do right by my girl." She studied him, noticing the calluses on his hands, the kindness in his eyes. "You've done more than any doctor," she murmured. Then came the turning point. One evening, as Ava and Elena played a clapping game, something incredible happened. "I felt that," Elena whispered. Everyone froze. "What do you mean?" Victoria asked. Elena's hand trembled. "A tingle in my foot." It wasn't a miracle, but it was something. Doctors later confirmed it. Nerve regeneration. Slow, barely measurable, but real. Her therapist said her emotional re-engagement, her joy, had changed her brain's chemistry. And so, therapy resumed. But this time, not with pressure. With hope. 3 months later, Elena took her first step. Not alone, but leaning on Ava, giggling through tears. Daniel, watching from the side, felt his own knees go weak. Victoria turned to him. "You gave me my daughter back." He shook his head. "Ava did. I just brought her with me." That winter, things were different. Victoria invited them to live closer. Ava was enrolled in a top school on scholarship. Daniel was offered a role at the company, not as a janitor, but a consultant for employee wellness and morale. He accepted. Not for the title, but for the chance to keep walking the halls where a little girl had changed another's world. And in the quiet corners of that tall glass building, if you listened closely, you could sometimes hear two girls laughing at the piano. And a single dad, smiling, from the shadows.